gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the Starladder I-League StarSeries Season 3. We are going into Map 2 of fnatic Academy versus Vega Squadron, and we move on to their pick of Cash. Welcome back, Harry.
Hey, Tom. It is a pleasure to be here, as always. You know, me and you sat next to each other in our leather recliners casting this game, and it's fantastic. Like you say, the first map was brilliant, an amazing just game to witness overall. Both teams cutting it incredibly close, but ultimately fnatic Academy, the Swedes, they win it out 19-16 in overtime. Now we're going to be heading on to the map pick of the Swedes. It's going to be Cash, one that they are also looking incredibly strong on, and one that Vega Squadron play a hell of a lot, but don't have the best history on. So it is going to be an interesting matchup indeed. Potential, let's not forget, for fnatic Academy to overwhelm us both and take this in a 2-0 fashion. I thought we would see 3 maps 100%. I thought Vega Squadron would be able to pick up Mirage. So it coming down to Cash is something that is extremely interesting, Tom, and why don't you try to run with that idea a little bit more? Or not? You know, it's a horrible thing to say to you.
The thing with Cash as well, like you said, like they do play it a lot, but we've seen them play Pride on it, lose 16-4 quite recently. They played Epsilon, and it was a very close series, 16-14, so it's not a bad map for them. It's just they're very up and down. I feel like that is just sort of this roster in general. They have a huge amount of talent, but if that doesn't show up and they resort back to strategies, that's where they really fall down. I think this team could definitely use with a coach, just someone to talk them through some like strategies or just some sort of experience in the mix, because a lot of their timing is very, very good. Sometimes they can like speed up the rounds, slow down the rounds, but when it comes to just like basic smoke setups or just things that you sort of expect teams to do, they sometimes just don't do it. Some of the games we watched them win previously versus Heroic, the reason Heroic couldn't stop them is because they just kept running into the B site and overpass and headshotting everyone. Now that's not a strategy, that's just skill, which they definitely have, but it just means that you go into sort of other points of the game and you go, okay, this isn't working now, what do we do? And that's where we sort of see them fall a little bit flat on their face. And we saw it just moments ago in OT. They sort of used up a lot of the basic strategies they already had, and then it was just more like, okay, fnatic Academy are just gonna throw something a little different in. So I don't know. I think they do have a lot of work to do. I think they've definitely got the like players to do it. I think they just might need a little bit more of something to actually pick them up. But
a little more spice, a little more spice, a little bit more
Cash,
herbs and seasonings in the dish.
It's one of those maps where you can, I don't want to say pug, I hate the phrase pug, but you can just sort of pug this map a little bit. You could go for those picks. Sometimes there are teams who can play this very strategically, but most of the time it just comes down to a lot of individual plays. Clutches are just on point on this map. That's why Nico was always so good at carrying Mouse through it.
And there we go, shots fired at Mouse even as well. We do it all here at Starladder. I'm Harry, and this is Tom as well. And yeah, I mean, let's quickly say hello to chat, because we don't have much time, so we're just going to read out a couple. Machocolate!
Still here.
Oh god, chocolate. That's a bot actually posting things, so they're gonna get banned. Maybe don't shout them out. Everyone ignore that. Yeah, right. Kevinis170 TYZ4 Gilbert Doe, and there we go. Now we're going to be heading into the pistol very soon. But yeah,
Lanari, you've been here before. This is not a rerun.
Yeah. Lanari's been here before.
I'll get you. Hey guys.
Oh, gang stabby.
He didn't say hi to you. Why are you reading his name out? He said hi to me.
You know what, mate? I feel like I represent just as much Tom in the Tom and Harry duo as you do.
He said hi, Tom.
Run, Forest, run.
Awkward.
Oh my god, no. Do Guzzler, Customs, and MS080 And Joke 999,
right
there you
hand,
go.
1, 2, 3. God. Okay, pistol round.
Pistol round we
Go,
go,
Harry.
Tom.
Go.
Let's embark on this journey. Speaking of a journey, JR has to run away, make his journey onto the site as they push on in. Chopper able to get one, but then he's quickly traded out. Plesson, meanwhile, going to be watching the vents, able to pick up that one frag, and it's all going to fall to JR on the site, who does get a nice flick out onto Karis, but he's still going to fall at the hand of Jay. Now it's just Hutchie and Mert, 2v3, trying to push in and retake this site. Bomb's going to be ticking down. They do manage to catch Plesson off guard, but not before he finds a nice quick frag out on Hutchie.
Just going to be both peeking out. I like this. Going as a team. And Jay will be able to finish things off. First round going the way of Fnatic Academy on that T side. Now, we saw them have an incredible T side. Absolutely incredible T side yesterday. 14-2 down. They pulled it back to, well, overtime. Extra time. Whatever you want to call it. But they managed to do it, and I was very impressed. Now, whether they can pull out that ridiculous of a T side once again, that's something different altogether. But at least in this round, we are going to see JR. He's just going to be saving. The rest of the team are going to be purchasing up what will be mostly Deagles and armor. But there's a scout in the mix and also a CZ.
Yeah, just the Plesson going to find both of them through the smoke. That boost really didn't work. JR as well are just going to be sitting beneath the vents for that cool, refreshing air as his face gets punctured by a UMP. Going to leave it now all on Hutchie and Chopper. 2v5 for the retake. They've got a Deagle and a CZ to play around with. But already Hutchie not rotating off of A, really kind of suggesting he's just going to try and save. And Chopper does find one. And now has a UMP to play around with, but tries to take the duel with the Deagle, leaving it all on Hutchie. He wants to hold on to the CZ. And can't say I blame him. Doesn't really have any chance of making anything happen towards B. The armor and the pistol going to come in, you know, very handy into the next round, just for a little bit of potential for them to wreak some damage. They can juggle a gun around or something like that. You know, it does suddenly make him a much more versatile player in the grand scheme of things. Fnatic Academy, they only lose one player thus far unless anyone goes for the peaks. And that will mean they pick up their second round and continue to build some serious money.
This is important as well. They're going to keep all those SMGs, and that's always something that it doesn't happen too often. Obviously, when you go for the SMG buy, you're kind of expecting to lose them. So to keep this many in, obviously, I don't really expect Karis to go for much. He'll either just, there's one of two routes. He'll just buy an AK and just look to bring that in, or it would just be something along the lines if he'll buy a Mac 10. So we'll see. I think he's actually been dropped to UMP by Karis, and then actually Golden's just going to stick with the P250. So they're going to invest very little into this. Obviously, it means Uchi does have a chance to do a little bit of damage with that CZ, but the rest of the players don't have too much. And there shouldn't really be too much damage done here at all. And actually, that CZ has just been wrecked. But they are all in middle, so maybe there's a chance to do a bit of damage.
Yeah, USP's finally going to find something. Golden's still here, though, to try and mop things up. Finds one, finds two. Now it's all on Chopper as he tries to peek out from Xbox. But this P250 is going to be a bit of a threat. Does deal with Karis, but has to first find and then try and dispatch a bat. And he's not going to let him get away with it. Does pick that one up. Vega do like to go for these kind of pistol strats where they all just clump up together. Like you ever seen Power Rangers where they combine and they make, like, what's it called, like the Megazord thing? That's what I feel like Vega tried to do. They all just group up in mid, combine into one giant ball of people who don't quite land their shots with USPs but still find a good bit of damage. And there we go. It's going to be 3-0 to Fnatic Academy as they do pick up the pistol and the respective anti-ecos. Now Vega going to be on that buy. This is where we see the fruits of the saves for JR does pay off, and he does get the AWP and armor and a little bit of utility to play around with. None of them really having head armor and two UMPs in play. It's going to be bad Jao to find one. Chopper finds it next. The trades try to come through as best they can. And, well, out mid, Kachanda up close to battle to find another. Quickly, things going back and forth. Fnatic only find themselves with one man down. Mir's going to go for the peak, and Plesson has to land a crazy shot. Oh, he does!
Did he only have 2 bullets in the clip?
Yeah, he only had 2 bullets. That was just all style. It was finesse. It was magical. It's all Plesson. As now he looks to go up for the push. He also got Hachi. We might catch him off guard. And Plesson on standby for the ace. He's on 4. It's all on JR. 1v2. He's got to go for this retake, but Plesson is landing his shots and he's hungry. He's frothing at the mouth. He wants the ace.
Doing so much work. Been very impressed with this guy. We'll see if he can finish things off. We are going to have JR pushing. There we go, Plesson. Ace to bring the round back for his team as well. Wonderful stuff. And they will continue the run over on their T side, even saving an AWP for his teammate at the end. He can get the ace. He doesn't even celebrate. He's just going like, yeah, that was easy, guys. Okay, I gotta go pick this AWP up.
He does this every day. This is Plessen's life, you know. It's not new to him, but it's new to us. And we see it, and we think it's beautiful. We admire you, Plessen. And now it's going to be 4-0 lead to fnatic Academy. Over on their T side, they're having a very good start of things here. It's going to be the economy of Vega ruined once again. They try to go aggressive, but Plessen says no.
6 in a row now.
Yeah, he still hasn't gone down. He's currently 10-1 in the server. That's more frags than all of Vega put together right now. And Golden over towards Squeaky does find the aggressively pushed up Hoochie as he tries to go aggressive, and aggression hasn't really been working out for you guys. Vega might want to try another strategy from your strat book that for the time being we haven't really seen too much from. 3 players left alive, 2 in mid, JR over towards B, and it doesn't really look like fnatic Academy are too bothered about the B site right now. Instead, it's just been all mid and then pushing on towards A for the most part in these rifle rounds.
Golden, let's be a little bit careful. Chopper can be a beast with this D. Oh, actually just casually tapping away. No pressure on him whatsoever at the moment. Only needs to connect 1 bullet, and that will be enough to finish off Chopper. He's now got a triple kill for himself in this round. And the only man left is JR. Now, Plessen, this is just dirty. Is he just going to hide sandbags and just wait?
I mean, I think JR should check this, right? The PT-50's very lethal. Will he check it, though? He will. He finds him.
He gets him with the last bullet again.
Yeah, well, Plessen's just doing it for style now.
It's like that last bullet is just like a homing bullet, and every time it's just going to hit the face. Obviously, that would be cheating, and I'm not implying that by any stretch of the imagination. But that is ridiculous. Just every time it's like, okay, now I reload. Casual,
I don't know,
easy.
I think there's a chance Valve can maybe implement that in a future update if you unbox it. But yeah, I mean, it is going to be now the orb back on JR. Finally, Vega can afford to buy on down, but essentially, you know, for them, this 5th round looking more like how their this 6th round looking more like how their 4th round should have looked. Out towards Mick. Shannon once again be pushed up close. They go for the exact same mid setup that didn't work last time, and this time it looks to be no different. Plessen onto Plessen, you're insane! You're a monster! You're not a man! You're a machine! He's on 3, he's looking for a
oh
ball.
my god,
he's gonna get it! It is just utter destruction from this man. It's all on JR once more. And already it's looking like Plessen could beat Vega single-handedly.
No, this is ridiculous. He's got 15 kills in 6 rounds. That's absolute insanity. Like, what do you do against that? What do you actually do against that? That is ridiculous. He's got more kills than his whole team combined as well. This is one man just on a mission at the moment. JR is just going to sit back. He's like, I don't want to give this guy a second ace. I don't want to give him a second ace in 6 rounds. That is ridiculous. And now, well, he's going to go looking. He's going to go for a little bit of an explore. Obviously, the money's absolutely fine. He's got 15,600 in the bank, which will go up to a casual 16k at the end of this round. What do you do? Like, Jay's sat down the bottom at the moment with 2 kills, no deaths. Just like, well, I'm having a pretty good game, but I'm not seeing anyone.
The real sad thing is, well, JR is a phenomenal player, but he's playing that B site, and every time he's just left in that one before, everyone else dies, you know? And the real counter to mid, the hilarious part is they put 4 players in mid. It's not even the fact they're trying to counter a setup. They're trying to counter one man. They're trying to counter Plessen. And he sees that feeble attempt at trying to tame the god's work, and he says no. Shuts things down. They are going to employ the boost up onto the, the strat boost over on 8, so we have got a player up there that should allow them to leave him to anchor over towards here, but instead they keep Hutchie there as well, going to go for the old bait and switch. Where is Plessen, though? That's the real question. He's over towards A, and Hutchie should be getting very scared here.
Yeah, I think they've just unleashed him at this point. It's just been like, okay, go. Get everyone for us, please. We'll see if he can continue this. JR's actually going to get the first pick of the round. That will be onto Karis. So there is now a chance for them to get their first round on the board. I do quite like this setup with Cassandra close. Just going to be the sort of refrag potential. Jay is taking a little bit of a peek with this AWP, but this angle should be enough to catch one off. We're actually going to see the flash come in. Cassandra's going to go for the peek, but doesn't manage to spot anything out at the moment. They are going to be back on the site, but with Chopper already rotating in, it is pretty scripted as to where they're going at the moment.
Just falling towards CT, but it's Jay to open things up. He does find that first. Golden through the smoke as well, going to dispatch him another. Suddenly, it's all on Kashandra on the site. He's got a Famas to play around with. They think it's going to be clear. He's able to get one. They have to deal with him here. Golden through the smoke, finding another. Smokes just don't render in for this guy. And now Pleasant lights up Kashandra. It's all on Mir on this flank, who does come in front. He deals with the gun. We know that Pleasant can die. It's not just a rumor. He goes down. Now it's Mer v2. But Golden's already on 2 frags. He's looking for the Oh Baby a triple, and it would be such a sweet victory for them to pick up a 7th here. As he goes out for the peak, Jay going to pick that up. And that's a 7-0 scoreline secured. Hoochie 1 away from the James Bond Spectre scoreline, 006 right now. He's kind of the tier beneath the Mr. Bond himself.
He's not quite a 00 agent as... Well, he is a 00 agent, just not the one that we want, I suppose. Either way... We are going to be seeing if he can do anything in this round. Obviously, can't expect too much. It is only pistols, but... Oh, let's see how fnatic going to play this one. Just aggressive push straight out. Golden. Well, he's realised that if he sits back, then Pleasant is going to take all of the frags, so he's just going to go aggressive. Batten doing the same. You want to get on this scoreboard a little bit more. Want to show their skill to the rest of the world, but here is Kashandra taking down both the Golden Boys at the moment. It's going to leave it back to a 3 versus 3, at least doing some damage. Now, the problem is damage isn't going to do anything. They've got to try and get a round out of this. We are actually going to see JR get one on the flank, but in the meantime, everybody else is cleaned up. 8-0. Where is the pause, Vega? Where is the pause?
I mean, like, Jay right now is 5-0. He still hasn't died. You know, he's unkillable.
I just want to point out, Hoochie got an assist, so it's over.
And he ruined it. He's not even good for that. I mean, he's having a very bad game. He had a very bad start to Mirage, though. He was able to pick it up later on, so hopefully we can see that sort of thing again. But
What
right
is
now,
that
it's
smoke chopper?
Destruction. That's a new one. No. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
that stops them from. Yeah, that stops the checkers play. The infamous checkers play. 10 seconds into the round. But look at me.
I don't know how he managed that.
Quite good damage on a J. But he will be forced on back. The AWP rattling a bullet through. Now, Jay's been tagged down extreme low. Pleston trying to replicate success on mid. And what the hell was that? He finds Kashandra. Now he knows the Hoochie's going to be close. Now, he just doesn't have a single frag. And he could pick one up by taking down the god himself. And there we go! The first frag is on the king of cash. Now it's a 3 on 4. But Jay is tagged down so extremely low. The push coming on in. Chopper's able to find one. Batten a trade. He's now... batted up a little bit as well, and there's a hole in the smoke. Please don't go for the beak. I beg of you. JR's holding the angle. He should be able to shut this down. But never mind. Batten makes it across somehow against all odds. Bomb's going to be going down as well. Jay just watching the smoke, but he's got to worry about Mo, who did the damage earlier on. Now he's coming to finish what he started, and he does so. Now it's all on Batten, 1v3, and the utility just raining on it. He's got to try and clutch this out against all odds. And Vega, they're going to be picking up that first round on the CT side, 1-8.
Yeah, they're finally on the board. At least that's something, I suppose. They are actually trying to delay the time a little bit so they can upgrade some weaponry and get themselves an extra AK, or are they looking for a secondary AWP? I don't really know what they were looking for, but it is going to be the first round on the board for Vega. Hopefully this can lead to something a little bit more.
I mean, the issue is, fnatic, they have so much money to buy down. Plesson kind of dropping, in cash quite substantially, but still, he's still got 7 grand in his account. By the time that gets whittled down, they're going to be on max loss bonus anyway, if it comes to that kind of stage. So they're fairly sound from now until the end of the first half, at least. And while they're going to be changing things up, trying to make something happen out towards Zayna, Kashandra's got aggressive. No one's there to trade for him, though, and he's taking this very aggressively, trying to force the issue onto these players. There should be someone there to try and shut him down, just on the other side of that smoke, playing things up close and personal. Like I say, unusual that Mur isn't pushed on through to trade things out. He does finally rejoin his teammate, but no, he's just going to kind of feed him to the wolves here. Mur to find one on Jay, who tries to push up through Squeaky, takes him down, and that's going to be this A site, already looking to be a bit off limits. JR's going to fall, though, in the meantime, over towards Z, and that's going to open up mid for fnatic Academy once again to make their way out and try and abuse the control of.
And actually, this is going to force them to push onto this B site. Chopper was the only one there. They've gone for such aggressive pushes over towards 8. They've completely isolated this site. Will that nade catch Golden? That would be lucky. Not quite going to make it. Now, well, this is where they have to question whether this is even worth going for. A B retake is very, very difficult as it is. With already a man down, I'm not sure it's worth it. Nade again. It seems to be just going around the positions of Golden at the moment. But he is still surviving on 22 HP.
I mean, these two, they should be given the name the Golden Gods. Golden sitting on 11 frags right now, Pleasant on 17. Between them, they've got 28 frags and 9 deaths. That's the kind of stat you'd expect for someone approaching overtime. I mean, they're doing insane. They've already done basically, what, like the kind of whole half amount of kills you'd expect from a team in the first 10 rounds. So they've been doing a phenomenal job. This boost is going to be nice. It should be able to shut down a frag on an unsuspecting player. But no, actually, Karish does get past, finds the damage, but doesn't get the kill. And he will be eliminated. Batten wants to try and find one as well, but no, he just falls at the end there. Vega, though, they do concede that round. They save up 3 weapons. It was smart to go on the hunt, but the force buy will come in as they save up all 3. Fnatic Academy, though, so much money in the bank. Not going to be an issue for them, and I think they, they're poised to pick up another round here.
Yeah, the buy isn't bad, though, it has to be said from Vega. They are going to save enough weapons that they can get a 4-buy on the board. Obviously, Hoochie with a UMP is not really a problem anymore. It should be. It should be, but it's not. That's Counter-Strike for you. But we are actually going to see a boost. Now, this is going to be from Mir, and he's got to be careful. Sporton is normally ready and waiting. See him on the other side now. Now, going any further than this does have quite a high amount of risk, but timing is perfect. I just want to see him fall back from here. Going any further has no real added value other than the potential for a trade to come in. They're actually going to try and throw a Molotov over, but it's not going to achieve anything as it actually explodes in the air. Oh, man, are you actually going to go for this? He's going to manage it as well. This should be a free kill, and actually, there isn't too much chance of a trade either. He could just continue to push, taking over this A main control, not spotting anybody else out. The problem is, he's now being flanked himself.
Yeah, Pleasant doesn't quite line his shot up in time, and that does mean he's done a brilliant job of securing the man advantage here for Vega. A very ballsy play, but it does pay off, and there's no one, like you say, near enough to get that trade. Now they look like they want to push out towards A. 2 players here with Chopper over towards mid, who can very quickly rotate. Mo's going to get tacked down very low, though, and all it's going to take is 1 nade to deal with him on the site. The nade does miss, but Pleasant and Jay remedy that. Chopper up through mid, able to find one, putting it back into a 2-on-2. Jay just watching the angle, but he's going to get that bomb down. Does elect just to play things safe, go for the cross. Chopper's going to go aggressive, though. Golden over towards Quad is going to fall at the hands of Chopper, who is very much on the cusp of retaking this site almost solo. It's all on Jay, who finds the first on the JR. Chopper VJ. Clash of the Titans here over towards the A site. He does have the AWP. It's tagged down low, but all he needs to land is 1 shot. He spots out Chopper and he lands the flick. That's the triple for him. A 10-1 scoreline and 9 rounds to the advantage of Fnatic Academy. And once again, Vega's money is looking terrible. And it looks like they're going to elect to force. Why would you bother, Tom?
I think they should have called a pause a long time ago. This is just well, the thing is with this force, I don't understand it because you get 2,400 next round. So they would have had something at least on the board. Now, all I really want to talk about there is the fact that Jay clearly hasn't seen anybody because that clutch situation just manages to isolate both players. I do think that at this point, maybe we're seeing a bit more of a tilt sort of Vega Squadron than anything else. Really doing the sort of plays we want to see from them, and that's just suicide play. If this is sort of your force buy, this is your attempt to win the round, just pushing into the crosshairs of the Swedes, they're just going to take that all day long.
Yeah, I mean, they can afford to, especially as well when you look at this buy now from Vega. It's very misplaced. I feel like they tried to force the issue, but with no real gain. And look, I mean, these forceful weapons going to do nothing. JR walking in like a lamb to the slaughter. He goes down. It's all on Chopper. Who at this point looks like a slang term for a kitchen knife as opposed to any sort of Apache tank helicopter or anything. And he's going to go down as well at the hands of Pleasant. That's an 11th round now for Fnatic. And now there's no money for Vega left as a result of that force buy, meaning it's going to be another eco from them, another easy round for Fnatic Academy to pick up. That's going to be 12-1. They'll finally be able to buy into the 14th round, which is a horrid round to be able to buy into anyway, because it means you're going to have to force for the last of the half if you don't pick it up. So that one force buy has essentially ruined their economy for the next few rounds to come if they don't pull off the win when they eventually get their buy together.
I think the big problem is actually something we mentioned at the beginning of the game. The fact that when the sort of run and gun aggressive strategy doesn't work out, very little for Vega to fall back on. And it's clearly notable here. They're still trying to go for these aggressive plays, and fnatic Academy are just waiting for them. Chopper, okay. Is he going to manage to maybe cheese them around? This is a little bit ridiculous. So much damage being done, and it's actually only Paris left, but he will get the first. Doesn't have the bomb, and AK has been picked up for Hoochie. If this is the round they manage to win, this is going to blow me away, but have to see. They will actually hear Karis drop, so they've got to know that he's here now. Cassandra already ready in a crossfire situation. Molotov to clear out the site. Obviously, Karis doesn't know where either of the two players are. This should be a decent position to be in already. Cassandra going to go for the push, but he will take the first. The AWP Cassandra will win them around. Still, at least now they can get a buy on the board alongside this. But we know the T's are buying. There's no question.
Yeah, I mean, they can afford to buy from now to the end, even if they lose heavily in each of these rounds. The other thing is, I mean, you know, looking at that, Vega couldn't have known they would have won that round. It was very, you know, fluky. They didn't really have much heading into it. So I still think what I said stands when it comes to their economy. I don't agree with what they did, and it did result in them picking up a round, but it was such a huge risk. And when you're not, you know, when you're being outperformed this hard, taking a huge risk like that isn't really the best thing to do. But anyway, out through mid, that Molotov should flash Chopper on out. It does get extinguished, but they know he's there now, and Golden through the smoke finds that round off. They have Hoochie boosted on up. I don't know what's that Shroud boost on A. Jay is going to try and peek on out. Crash. That's the crossfire setup as well. Finds that first frag over towards Highway. Karis just standing in the Molotov. Elects to do it. He finds both. He's on fire, literally, as he picks them up in towards the site. Now it's just JR who does drop the bomb at least. Jay's 5 HP. Karis the only player with any health to his name. And Molotov on JR as well. Everything he needs to try and make his way in here. Now Jay isn't going to go for the peek. If he does, he finds it anyway. I was going to say he really shouldn't. He should just play the angle, but they're so confident on the Swedish side right now. They know they can take these engagements and win them 9 times out of 10, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And a team that's confident, Tom, is a team that is incredibly lethal.
Yeah, no, they showed this T side yesterday. They were very, very good on it. Their CT side, they actually only managed to pull out 2 rounds. So I don't want to say that it is still possible for Vega, but it is. The only problem is I just don't see them with the sort of, like, just doing the same things that we're seeing from Vega. That's the big problem. They have done that 2 rounds in a row with pistols. 2 rounds, like, they just keep pushing this position. I've literally seen those exact same frags come out from Golden. I think it was 2 or 3 rounds ago, just sitting there, just like, okay, let's wait for a couple of players to push me. Chopper's going to be able to trade, but this is just frustrating to watch. Why would you do that again?
Oh, they might get caught off guard. No, that flash going to come out perfectly. Plesson picks that up, and now trying to rotate back on through. It's JR, but he's not going to be ready for Karis, who's in a very forward position. It's all on Chopper. 1v4. Karis is low, but really that's the only diamond amongst the turds here for him. He's in a very bad scenario. 1 versus 4 trying to come in towards the site. No utility to play around with. And fnatic Academy, they have so many crossfires set up. There's no feasible way he can do this here. And I think he's more than aware of that, especially seeing the amount of utility they've got left. Another smoke's going to go down. And he's probably going to die in the explosion if he doesn't push on through, which he does, and he falls. 2-13 fnatic Academy. A amazing T-side half. And I mean, you know, when you look at it, right? Plesson's on 21 frags, Golden's on 18. Karis only just reached double digits there at the end of that round. Everyone else still kind of down on 9 and 8 on the rest of their side. And I don't think that's because,
died 3 times.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not even the fact that they're not fragging or relying on these 2 players. It's just that they never see anyone because Plesson and Golden have killed them by the time they get anywhere. But I mean, the real issue here for Vega, the pistol was fairly random anyway. fnatic Academy have looked very strong on them as well. And all it takes is 1 pistol round to decide the fate of this game. So
you say
they have to win it.
You say that yesterday, fnatic Academy lost the pistol 1 or brought it back to overtime from this spot. I'm not a believer this time at least, but it's possible. I just don't see them having the mental fortitude. That's the problem. I don't think that they are confident in themselves at this point. It would have to be a mad comeback to at least spot out Golden though. That's going to give them the man back that they lost. Karis as well, very, very low on HP. Plesson holding the cross. Of course he's going to hit the shot. They don't have a smoke for it either. So they're just going to have to keep running up. Try and get back. They're actually going to boost the bomb back into the vent. There is a man waiting. And it's Karis, and he's very, very low. And now we're going to see the rotation back towards A. Or are we?
They've left the bomb is oh god, Pleasant, the man, the myth, the Pleasant over towards CT does deal with Kashanda now. They have to rotate back around and try and get this bomb. And look at this flank as well being employed right now from Jay. It's very risky. There's only one player on the side. Pleasant watch the cross, and while it looks like Batten might go down, he's nearly found one frag, but it's going to be eliminated. Fuji's tacked down very low, but JR's putting in work. Finds himself a second. Pleasant's on 13 HP, and it looks like they're going to be poised to pick up the pistol as Uchi does find that frag. 13-3. That's the start that Vega needed. It's their one chance to kind of come back into this. Like you say, fnatic Academy had a very weak CT side the other day, but still, right now they are firing on all cylinders. Vega, they need to show up to the party, and JR, he did just that.
Important round win. We're going to see plenty invested over on that CT side. And this UMP buy has still got a huge amount of risks behind it. The range, although there occasionally, it's not always there with these UMPs. Again, we're going to see some mid-aggression coming out from both sides. Molotov going to go down to stop any sort of counter boost, but doesn't actually spread to where Karis is currently standing. We're going to see a little bit more utility expended. I think they're waiting the same way that we saw on the other side. Karis actually moves into the boost angle and avoids the Molotov. How does he know that? That's so smart.
But he does have a move into the stream of bullets, so maybe gonna undo that as Mirror. He looks to be the new Pleasant. The Vega... Oh, never mind. It looks like he might die here. Hoochie's gonna get shut down. Mir's tagged that extremely low as well. Pleasant just locking down Mid as he shows he's the real Pleasant. And, well... Mid nearly tagged on the cross there. They don't quite find it, but oh, there's Golden! It is the two Golden Gods left alive. They've got the bomb in Mid as well. And this is going to be a very bad spot for Vega. He should be able to hear the boost. Pleasant pushes in aggressive, and they're not going to see this coming. He's tagged down so low anyway. Golden's watching Mid from Z. We're taking it very passively. They're going to clear it out now. Chopper should call that Mid's empty. They should know that Pleasant's got aggressive. He's still just pushed on up with the UMP. Finds that first frag. Bomb turn again. He gets himself a second. He's on 3 in total now, and it's all... Oh no, and there's Golden. They closed that one out. fnatic Academy. I mean, the Golden Gods. What is going on with them, Tom? They are insane.
I'm in genuine shock. How do you lose that round? Like, yeah, give props to Pleasant, give props to Golden. That was incredible. But how do you lose that round? There's just no way. If Mir gets 3 kills against pistols at the beginning of a round, how do you lose that? That is absolutely ridiculous. Vega, I have no idea what has just happened to you, but something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. They're going to buy back up. They're going to go for pistols of their own. But, wow. 14-3.
The couple name is Guessing, by the way. And, well, Pleasant going to find the first, finds himself a second. He's trying to trade things out, but Jay says no. That's the bomb dropped as well, and... Well, Pleasant may as well try his luck with the Deagle. He's already on 2. He wants to try and farm as much as he can. He's nearly hitting the 30 bomb, and we're only 18 rounds into this game. That is insane right now. Just an all-star performance coming out from both Golden and Pleasant. Mer tries to sneak past, but pays for it with his life. You can't sneak past Golden, as he just found out. It's now all on Chopper. 1v5. He spots out Karis, but death is fast heading his way in the form of a 5-5-6 round courtesy of Pleasant.
He's just gone God mode in this game. 29-8. That's all that needs to be said. That's a ridiculous scoreline to have. And maybe if we actually saw the full amount of rounds, we could have seen something absolutely crazy. But this is just ridiculous. We're going to see all Deegs. Why not? The CIS way. We saw Chopper do some work on the CT side to get them one of their 2 rounds that they managed to get. Maybe they can try and do this once again.
Go towards mid. The Deagle trying to chime in with one, but Karis says no. The trade frag does come through, thankfully. Someone is brave enough to push through the smoke as Uchi picks that up. Still, it's a 4-4. They've only gained a UMP from it. They can like to try and open something up here as they do gain control of mid. Jay going to rotate on through, up close and personal with this UMP pushing out through Z. And it's going to be forced on back. Rotates up to Truck. And oh, Pleasant goes down. A nice 1D from Mer, who shows he is contending for this top spot. Jay, though, holding it down from Truck. Finds good damage. Does get caught with his pants down a little bit. Nades out, but is able to find that frag nonetheless. Hoochie falls, Mers tagged down extremely low, and he's done a lot of work right now for the side of fnatic Academy over towards Truck. They've got to worry about Mer, who right now is very hot on their heels, coming in through connector. Why is no one watching this? He isolates the first, gonna go for the second, and oh, Mer's insane. There's potentially a fourth, but he is gonna get taken down. It's Batten versus 2. Trying to clutch this out for the retake.
Up against the Deagles, so does have a bit of a range disadvantage, but if he can isolate one of these, this is where he'll have the advantage. Get a little bit closer, still has a kit, has a smoke in hand as well. Just going to use that onto main. Definitely the right place to put it, but JR peeks out. Both players manage to hit the shots. And it will be 15-4. Still, now we have the proper buy coming in from the CT side. Rifles will be across the board. Maybe Adam will get himself a UMP. Actually just going to go straight with the rifle as well. So no problems there. The buy still isn't safe at all from Vega Squadron. They got themselves a couple of UMPs, a couple of rifles, one in the form of a Galil, and a trusty Deeg onto Cassandra yet again.
Yeah, I mean, well, the buyout for fnatic Academy, last time they just didn't put any money in. This time it's a very strong buy. Stronger than Vega, despite the fact Vega picked that round up. They're poised to try and take this away, but Vega aren't going to make it easy for them at least. And Plesson's tagged down low already. He wants to go for the repeat, but he's careful not to be too overconfident with this. Karis does learn that this Deeg's here as well as he gets tagged down to 68. Plesson, please stop taking the aim. Jewel Jays, he's going to get tagged down as well, but he does find that frag at least. Now, Kashan's done plenty of damage across the board, tagging 3 players for around 40 to 50 HP. That is going to make them a little bit more vulnerable to these rifles. Now they try and grab control of mid. This might be a bit of an error on their part, though. 2 players within earshot to try and shut this down. They go aggressive over towards defense, and actually they managed to make it through. Karish does find one on a Hoochie. Not going to make it easy for them to cross. 2 players here to try and push in towards this B site. Smoke goes down for CT, but it doesn't matter. Golden finds the first. We might even see that CT player opt to push on through to join his teammate. Hoochie does that. Chopper to find 2, actually making this UMP work out for them. It is still a 1v3. It's going to be an uphill battle, to say the least. Does find Plesson, but Plesson finds him too. 20 HP left alive on the lone player here for Vega. Picking out a Jay-Z. Jay-Z finds the shot, and that's going to be fnatic Academy. 16-4. They pick up that second map in an insane fashion. Plesson and Golden, my new favorite Swedish powerhouse.
Well, I was already a fan of Golden after the Mag 7 magic we saw over on Nuke. But, yeah, an absolutely ridiculous showing from them. The Vega never looked like they were in that map at all. And even after winning the pistol round, they managed to throw things away in a ridiculous fashion too. So, not been their day. This will make the group a hell of a lot more interesting. As now, actually, fnatic Academy, I think, have got themselves up to 2 wins. So, this should actually really throw the group. Because this means that, I think, obviously, alternate attacks have still got a couple of games left. If they win both, they'll go through. If they lose one and win one, then they'll send one of either Vega or Heroic through. And if they lose both, then we just have a 3-way tie on 6 points. So definitely going to be an interesting end to the group. We do, I think, have another match from this group actually coming up. Although, sadly, I think you're going to be leaving us.
Yeah, I am going to be departing. So you'll be joined instead by Tom as per. He's a wonderful man, a man of many talents. And also Scrawny, I believe, my Canadian friend. Some call him the love child of Sadakist and Semler, if there ever were to be one. And I'd say it's a fairly apt comparison. But yeah, no, that is going to be goodbye from me. Tom's still sticking around in the next game that is going to be coming up, Alternate Attacks versus Heroic, like you said. And a quick shout out and goodbye then to people in chat whom I've loved interacting with. Reggie Face 420, Hekov, Valiant TV, Jesus 023, Ottaway, VSM Kickster, Lion is God, or Leon is God, sorry, Haman _2, Depode, Labarascus 77, Hobo, Hekov, Gabito 1677, hi Moobot. You get a shout out too. People appreciate you.
Yeah, well,
Strike Chaos.
Moobot's
Kevin
giving
East
our
170.
the names out, so you know.
Yeah, he's a swell dude. Christ Creek, Ottaway, Tasopper, Mark Razaman, and a bunch of other people. Clever's. Oh wait, hang on. Clever's Lever, Sten 2000, CS:GO, Strike Chaos, Zach Kills. That's all from me, guys. But Tom's still going to be sticking around. Hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to give me a follow on Twitter at JustHarryGG and Tom a follow on Twitter as well at TomBiz14. Links are in the chat. We're going to take a quick break. I say quick. We're going to take an hour's break.